Hi everyone, hope you're all doing great and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. As I promised you, I'll be bringing to you motivational stories, inspirational stories. And on today's episode, I have a guest who is going to be speaking about politics and business. How do you balance politics and at the same time you're into business? So without further ado, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself and tell us what he's doing. Welcome to our channel and please introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. My name is Esemele Mugune. I am from Westlands constituency, Kangemi ward.
Esemele, what kind of business do you do?
I do like 3 or 4 businesses. The first business that I do, I'm into farming. I do bee farming. That is from Mashambani. So I have a few beehives. I harvest them, package them, and sell them within my locality. I'm still small. Another business that I had, but it's gone down a bit. I do chicken farming. But I do kienyeji eggs. Yeah. Another business that I have, this one is I do online taxi.
All right. And when did you join politics?
Politics, wow. Politics, I started it in the days of BZ na Banana. When we were having a referendum, the very first one, I think it was in 2005. I was a mobilizer. I ended up becoming a clerk during that election. Then BZ and the Banana. And then after that, I joined politics completely. So in 2007, I was in politics completely. In 2013, I vied actually. I vied in Kangemi for NCA. And I was not very successful. It was a long story. So that's when I got into politics in 2013. I vied.
Alright. So politics, it's a complex. Politics as a career, it's very complex. So how do you balance politics and business at the same time? Because these are very complex world, and they entail you need to be very committed. You need to be very hardworking. So how do you balance the two?
So right now I'm in active politics. I work with the Member of Parliament of Westlands constituency, Mheshimiwa Mwanyenyi, our incoming governor. What I do in his office, I am the coordinator for Kangemi. So my job is basically I'm a link between the voter and the office. So whenever I get a case, it comes to the office. I get the document. I follow up the voter or the client or the person. I go to assess the situation. I report back to the office. I give them what needs to be done, or I advise what needs to be done. And so that's how I do it. And many of these cases.
And how do you balance it? Because the way you're explaining, it seems like it needs like it's kind of 8 to 5 jobs. So how do you balance doing that and being an online taxi business?
My online taxi job starts from 4 after we leave here. Or I start very early in the morning. My online taxi job, I have a contract with a certain bank. I carry their clients. They leave work between 9:40 or 10:40. So what time is it now?
It's around 9 past 9.
Around past 9. So I'm here until that time when we close, depending on how busy the office is. And I'm not an administrator. So my job is literally the ground.
The ground.
So my job
which you can do other stuff.
My job is basically to get what is on the ground. I bring it to the office. Then once I bring it to the office. My car is on a sort of a loan. And the people who got it for me, we have a contract with a big bank. So this bank, I ferry the people who work at night. So I do about 3 people, 2 different places. In that case, actually, my car is paid for by that job.
Another question is that the political tide in this country change every year. Like the politics that we had in 2007 is not the same politics that we have in 2024. So the coming years, maybe 5 years from now, what do you think that the political angle will be in our country?
Good. let me also talk about my farming before I come to that one.
Okay.
So the bee farming is back in Ushago. Beehives, you don't need to have anyone to look after them. I have beehives. Every 3 to 6 months we harvest. I go get the honey. I do it myself. I do the sieving, na kila kitu. I prepare it myself. Okay. Then I sell within my locality, my neighbors, and people, by word of mouth. The chickens, I was doing it from Kangemi. I used to have 100 chickens as a kienyeji. But feeds are very expensive, so I've downscaled completely. So I'm not doing so much. That is my side hustle through my wife. Okay. So she used to do that. The many frustrations you see young people out here crying. Okay, people believe that the government should do much for them. But personal success is personal responsibility. If you want to be successful, lazima ujitume. Kujituma means you cannot just have one thing and expect to become successful. You have to do a bunch of things. Even the CEO of Safaricom or big guys, they are CEOs, they are farmers, they are real estate, they are doing a bunch of things. So when you have an employment somewhere, make sure that employment, when you get it, do something else apart from it. Because every employment has an expiry date. When you get a contract or a job, if you don't have one, you will get into a lot of problems. So for me, I'm prepared. A bunch of side hustles. This is just some of the ones I'm telling you. I have others. I also do garbage bags. I sell garbage bags. Okay, before we continue, I think that one will be kind of an advice to the young people who wants to go to take politics as a career. Let me come back to politics. The one you had asked. Exactly. The complexities of politics in Kenya. Yeah. Complexities. One thing, if you study Kenyan politics, I start from where I got into politics from 2005-ish, coming 2007, 2013, 2017, now 2022. So I have learned in Kenya, world over, political enemies today, political friends tomorrow. So don't become emotional. Don't carry people in your heart. It's just, again, this politics is interest based. There's no love in politics. If you're looking for love in politics, you're in the wrong place. Politics is interest based, and if you look at how things have in 2007, Raila Odinga was an enemy of Kibaki during those both elections. But in 2007, they did a handshake, or the national government of national accord, they moved forward. The same came to Uhuru Kenyatta. At some point, they agreed. The same with William Ruto, they've also agreed. So at some point, politics is a game whereby you put people first. So the complexities of it is purely based on interest, nothing else. Everything you see in Kenya, people don't agree, they disagree. Even today, this thing that the deputy president wants to be impeached, if you look at it keenly, it's purely it's purely on interest. Could be business, could be many other things, but purely it's on that. And once they agree, they will shake hands and they move together. So if you are caught in between the two, you will suffer. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the complexities. You just have to know how to play it. Don't become emotional. You survive in politics. That is it. All right. And okay, who inspires you politically? In 2013, when I got into politics, I was the first person I met was Mheshimiwa Timo Nyinyi. I was very green. I was young. I had done a lot of recruitment in ODM. I was a life member. I still am, I believe so. Many things have changed. I've moved to party and blah blah blah. But Mheshimiwa Timo, when I met him the first time, I had never met him. I did not even know he existed. So I met him once and he called me in his office, private office, his legal office, and we had tea. And he told me many good plans about how he's going to improve lives of people, his plans for the young people, his plans for women. And he really inspired me. And at one point we were doing voter registration, Kangemi was doing very badly. And I was among the people who were actually doing the voter registration. So he called me and he asked me, there's a word he used in Kiluya. He said, Moses, why are you guys number Musembe? And I said, Mheshimiwa, I don't know. So he called me and he gave the number Yes, and he gave me a pep talk. He told me, stop looking for people outside Westlands. Go back to Kangemi, look for those mamas who are in the Mulango Zao, they've not registered, talk to them nicely and get them to the polling station. And then I took his advice. And guess what? We were now number one. That was what
voters registration.
Yes, and in Westlands, how Mheshimiwa Tim has done, you said who has inspired me, how he's done his approach to education. It really inspires me. He believes that when you educate somebody or someone, you change the whole environment or that cycle or of Mali ametoka. So how his approach to education, to me, it's amazing. How he's worked with women, it's amazing. So I draw a lot of inspiration from Mheshimiwa Tim. And then Mheshimiwa Tim is not very aggressive. He's not abrasive. He's not one of those politics you find in the political dais attacking others. He's working. And people know his work. And he's created his brand in such a way that he's actually a manager, not a politician. He's a leader. So I'm really inspired by how Mheshimiwa Tim does his things in Westlands. I mean, I know him face to face. So there are many people like Martin Luther's inspired me. I never met him. Another time I thought Obama was a great deal, but Mheshimiwa Tim has really inspired me and has given me a lot of insights on how to serve people.
All right. Yeah. And I think, and also you can relate it to business-wise.
Corruption in Kenya is the order of the day.
How has it impacted
politics
in Kenya?
Let me begin in party politics. Corruption is entrenched in party politics. And I will tell you, bad governments are created by bad political parties because of corruption. A corrupt political party will form a corrupt government. So if the political parties do not have corruption, then the government that would come in would not have corruption. So I would say corruption has impacted politics negatively, and it's a thing that it is very hard to remove because it's the order of the day. Business-wise, the same thing. Like for me, I told you I do online taxi, and I can tell you, doing a public service vehicle, when matatu, bus, tax, any of those, boda, any of those, I can tell you is very difficult because the legal system is something else. And when you are stopped by the officials, that is the police and the others, if there's a small problem, the only way for you to get out is to part with money.
All right. Okay. Moses, we go back a little bit. You said that you vied in 2013 and you lost. Do you feel there's something that you did not do right? Or there was corruption or something, like you can just tell a little bit.
2013, when I vied, I was very green. I was depending on Mheshimiwa Tim Wanyonyi for everything. He was my everything. So if he give me a nice talk about I would feel jacked up and go to the ground and then nominations happened. I had never gone through a nomination.
So how long did it take you to campaign?
Oh wow, 2 years. 2 long years. Let me tell you the process. I thank God for one. I thank ODM, the party. There was 6 months of learning and implementing, and I didn't have money. I brought the knowledge that I had learned from those workshops to the ground. When people are giving money, I was giving constitutions to people. I was capacity building them. I was teaching them what they're supposed to understand, because that was the first time the devolution was coming to Kenya. So I had an upper hand of knowing what devolution looks like even before we got there through these workshops. So 2 years of voter registration, 2 years of membership recruitment because of the nominations. It took me a very long time. But all that I lost in nominations.
So do you feel we did something wrong or they did something wrong?
Okay. Politics is a blade. It cuts both ways.
Yeah.
My wrongdoing, I was green. I did not know things better. I did not know that you don't win a nomination if you don't have certain things like nomination is a bad thing. I'm not telling young people, if you're going to run in a big political party, utaoshwa, you don't believe it. And there's no favorites in this game. There's no favorites. Ule mtu anakupenda. Kwanza if they're running, you think they will help you. They'll have their own fight to fight. So did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
I think the only thing that I did wrong, I didn't have money.
You didn't have money.
That's the only thing.
So you believe that if you had money, you would have won?
I would have been in charge of those bringing, I would have been, these political parties, like I told you, they are entities where kidogo corruption is entrenched, is the order of the day. So you'd find someone in the party, in the structure of the party, who's supposed to be running maybe a certain ward or a constituency, that's supposed to be in charge of security and transportation of the ballot papers and boxes. They get a candidate to do that job and get security. How fair will it be? It will be fair. So this is how things happen in Kenya. This is how things happen. So you have to be very careful. So I think the only thing that I did, I think I did wrong, was not having the resources to be able to, one, buy information. And then analysis of ballot boxes and nothing about
you just buy it blindly.
Well, I didn't buy it blindly. The law in Kenya, Elections Act, says if you want to buy, you need to have 1, 2, 3. And then it says
no, not blindly in terms of that. Like you didn't get the correct information. You need to mobilize people. You need to tell people about yourself. You did not do enough marketing on yourself.
No, I did a lot of marketing. Actually, that time, if there was a poll done, I was the most popular candidate all the way to the day of elections. All the day, I was very popular. But then I learned people don't vote popularity, people vote parties. People don't vote in Nairobi, they don't vote popular candidates. They vote popular party. So even if you put a very unpopular candidate in a popular party, they still beat you. Father, I didn't have a godfather.
But you just told us that Mheshimiwa Tim Wanyonyi encouraged you.
Mheshimiwa Tim encouraged
me. So him being the person you're looking up to, it only means that he was your godfather.
Mheshimiwa Tim is not a corrupt leader.
Wait fast. Not corruption here. You're talking about you vying. So I'm sure he held your hand. Like he showed you the way. Right?
He inspired me. He still inspires me today. He's become in our Kenyan politics someone I've seen come to Westlands and change it from the politics of Kangumu Kama. He's really changed it to now. It's politics of diplomacy, of persuasiveness, of, he's a diplomat. He likes to gather people and bring people together.
Okay.
That has really...
all right. Okay. Let me bring another question. During the Maandamano time, just the recent Maandamano that was going on,
the Gen Z one.
Yeah. We saw a lot of businesses were paralyzed, some businesses were affected. You being in politics and at the same time being in business, how was your take? What's your take on that?
Let me tell you, my car is on loan. My car is on loan. I didn't buy it cash. I don't have the money to buy it cash. It's on loan. I paid monthly, so I need to pay these guys that I've told you of a certain bank. So that if I slide to recover is not easy, because I have a lot of things running. So when these Maandamanos were on, I wasn't able to pay for my car loan.
So it affected you.
It really affected me.
And you being into politics.
Let me tell you, the Maandamanos were good. They were fine. The first week of Maandamano were amazing. They were agenda driven. They were. This was is what Martin Luther King used to say. Non-violent protest or demonstrations. They were amazing. If you go back and read about Mahatma Gandhi, he's the one who started this thing, non-violent demonstration of protest. Second and third and the fourth week, it was bad. That's when we saw the death of many young people. And the country was actually, my opinion, it was sinking into anarchy. My opinion, this is me. But I want to thank Raila Odinga for being a wise man and thinking that the country is bigger than anybody and deciding to do some sort of arrangement of, I don't know what it is, but agreement with the president so that the country can move forward.
On that note, there have been a lot of controversies on social media that ODM as a party has been kind of sold out to the president, the current president right now. So what would you say about that?
Well, I'm not the ODM spokesman.
No, just saying like your view.
Now, as someone watching things, I would say ODM is not very sold. I mean, ODM, like any other party, is here and it will go. It will go one day. UDA will go, Jubilee went, KANU went, KADU went. They will all go. Kenya will remain. So whatever we do politically, we must always put country first. Whatever it is, we must always. That's why I said, don't be emotional in politics. If you can't be emotional, you're in the wrong thing. Politics does not need a lot of emotions.
Yeah.
If you're emotional, you are in the wrong thing.
What advice would you give to young people who want to do politics and at the same time they want to venture into business?
First thing I tell young people, life is very, I would say tragic. Life is tragic. If you na ukapata kuna kitu imekurudisha nyuma, you will not be like everybody else. You need to do a lot to push yourself forward.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to really work extremely hard in whatever field you're in. Whatever field you're in. And success business-wise is a personal responsibility. Government will never bring food for you. They'll not forget jobs. They'll not even give you a job. They would give you a job. And I would urge young people, start where you are. Anza mahali penye uko, anza na kile kidogo. As you start there, you'll grow slowly. I started working when I was 17 years old. Na nilikuwa nafanya kazi ya mimi nimejenga barabara. I have done mijengo. I've done ridiculous things to just earn a living. And then those who want to get into politics, I would say be more informed, be issue driven, be people centered. Forget about money.
Okay.
Money comes and goes. I have worked with people who have a lot of money and they've not made it successfully to being elected. So money has a role that it plays, but it's not the key to being elected in any position, even including presidency. Money, but if you are issue-based, people-centered, you are likely to be in touch with the people, and probably when you get into for young people, tafuta biashara, kasi biashara, get employed somewhere, anza mahali, even if uta volunteer, do something to earn some money. As you do that, you want to get into politics, issue-based, and people-centered, and everything will be okay. If you're looking for money in politics, in the wrong place,
But they say politics is business and business is politics.
Now,
like politics, it's a very lucrative business.
Very. Yeah. People are making money in politics, that people who own political parties. People who own
political parties.
Yes, these are private personal entities. In the law, they say they are sojourning, but the truth is that they're owned by people. Those are the people who are making money. If you are not owning a political party, you will make zero money. So don't come to politics expecting money. Come to politics expecting to do the following: serve the people, learn a few things here and there, and do things the correct way.
Okay.
Not making money, fanya kazi zingine, tafuta, soma, kuwa lawyer, kuwa daktari, kuwa mwalimu.
I tend to disagree with you kidogo. Because, I've seen people grow in politics.
Money.
Yeah, they like money. I won't mention names. But, okay, some people make money through politics, by the way. And you're a witness to that.
Okay. I want to repeat. If you want to make money, don't come to politics. Let me tell you why. I'm working in the office of Mheshimiwa. I do bee farming. I do chicken farming. Right now, I'm looking for
like you don't have to have one hustle. You need to have.
If this was making money, I wouldn't be doing these things. That's the bottom line. I'm looking for another farm. To someone to look for another acre. I want to plant things. If there was money, I wouldn't be doing this. I come home at 12.
Nobody's never enough.
Okay, no, that's not it. That's not it. You listen to what we've talked about.
Okay.
For me, if I'm able to pay for my school fees for my kids, I have 4 kids and I'm married. So if I can take care of my kids, I can take care of my family affairs, look after my parents, and I have 200, 300, 400 bob to give my friends in Chicken there. Yeah, I'm sorted.
You're sorted.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you say? How do you envision you 5 years to come?
5 years to come. Wow, 5 years to come. Politically or business-wise? Both.
Just you.
First of all, 5 years to come, business-wise, myself, I want to make sure that I have mastered at least one business. I've mastered it so well that I've mastered it so well that this is what I know, this is my main thing. You know, you cannot be the master of all things.
Yeah,
I want
true.
to master one business. Either mostly is farming because that is where but now I'm trying many things. I'm doing many things in farming to come up with one that I know this really works. Because farming, the bad thing in farming, you cannot farm in Nairobi. You cannot be farming from Nairobi. Ashamba iko Ushago. Story ni mingi. There's a friend of mine used to tell me, anapigia simu anaambia ati ng'ombe imemeza kijiko. So you're talking from Nairobi. You know, it's very stressful. So I'm trying to do a bunch of things to get one. And I've been doing this for a long time. I'm still learning. Politically, my focus is just one. My focus is one. Mheshimiwa Tim is going for governor. So I'm just behind him to see him become governor because I know he'll do justice.
So you don't intend running again?
When I ran in 2013, the following thing I learned. Let me tell you what I learned. When you run, it will really puncture many holes in you. Running, like I said, issue-based, people-centered. If you can do it, why should I run? I will never run for MC in my life.
Okay.
Never. I will never.
That's a decision you made.
Never. The energy it takes for run for MCA is the same energy it takes to run for member of parliament, for governor, for president.
So you'd rather go for a bigger seat?
I don't know, but I will never run for MCA. I'm on that threshold. I will never. The energy it takes is so draining. It's the problems you get running for this small seat. It is a disaster. Made money. The ending was so bad, tragic. Let me tell you, I thank God I was not elected in 2013. I thank God I was not elected in 2013 because God knew I was not ready. There are things I did not know about being elected. Looking forward to something else. Getting elected is another. Once you're there, I didn't say something about my politics. I was the youth leader for ANC. I didn't tell you I've migrated from ODM to other parties.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you that. Just go on.
Okay. After I did not make it in 2013, a lot of things happened, and politics being politics, enemies today, friends tomorrow, and vice versa. I migrated to ANC. I was a youth leader in Nairobi for the ANC party. So we created networks around the city, and I learned many things when I was the youth leader of Nairobi. Nairobi is so humongous. It is huge. And the interests in Nairobi, they are vast. Balancing them is very tricky. And the young people in Nairobi, wow, they have a long way to go because politically, they need to be in the mainstream. I would never, I thank God I'm no longer youth. Because young people are regarded to be the youth wing.
Okay.
Why youth wing? Why do you have a mainstream where money goes to mainstream? The youth wing, they are the campaigners, they are but they don't get the money. They are all talking about they don't get the resources. So youth thing, so I would want to, as I finalize on my future plans, having a scope of Nairobi, understanding it a bit, having friends, happen upon in this city, in my mind, until Mheshimiwa Tim becomes the governor, nothing else is politically going to move in my life. So he's my major thing going forward politically. Mzee become governor, and if he becomes governor, what is done in Westlands, he'll do at a large scale. Nairobians would love him. Nairobians would love what he would bring to the table.
So, okay, that was Moses Asemele, and we are so happy and so proud to have you on our channel. But before we close, just give your last advice, like just a little bit, kidogo tu.
Okay. My last advice to Gen Z, those are the new out of the saizi, hawa ndo mambogi. Hawa ndo mambogi, I will tell them that personal success with personal responsibility. I know there's a lot of agitation for government to do. In the US, there's a story of a guy who started he had a factory that used to create metal, steel. Back then in the US, there were no railway. And the government was in the US. You know what he did? He created the railway himself because he wanted to move it from state 1 to state B. And he did it himself. And just today, the government is benefiting from what he did.
Okay.
And John F. Kennedy, a great president, although he was assassinated, he said this, before you ask government to do for you, what have you done for government?
Oh, okay.
And God being God, he gave us everything. Everything, trees, blah, 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 blah. What have we done for this earth that God gave us for free? So let's do before we expect to receive. Let us give and then take. If don't take, then you want, it doesn't work that way.
All right. So if people want to get you, do you have any social media platform?
I have a social media platform. It's Moses Semelia Mugune or Semelia Mugune. Look for those to find me.
All right.
Easy, easy.
So that was Mose, and we really appreciate having you here. And so, guys, I'll be bringing to you stories after stories after stories. So I hope that you guys keep on subscribing to my channel, Ruth Makoha. Just go on YouTube, Ruth Makoha, TikTok, Ruth Makoha, everywhere, Ruth Makoha. Thank you so much for watching and keep on tuned. Bye-bye.